Okay, so if you see, I have the given stuff highlighted in yellow, 4x minus 1 equals 27. And if you'll notice, that is exactly the same as that first statement here in my proof. Your first statement and your first reason will always be what is given to you. Don't start again, okay? First statement and first reason is always your given information. You do not have to think about that. When we do our proofs, we should never miss that step because it will never change. What we're trying to prove is that x is equal to 7. Okay, so let's think about this. If I am solving this equation, 4x minus 1 equals 27, what would you tell me to do first? Add 1. Okay. And when I add 1, the result is going to be 4x equals 28. Isn't that what my second step says, is that 4x is equal to 28? Okay. What property did I use to get there? What did I just do to get there? I added, right? I added 1 to both sides? Exactly. So the reason for that is going to be the addition, and we can abbreviate, property of equality. Okay, and I'm abbreviating because I don't want to write all those long words. How do I know that? Because I added 1 to get to the next step. So far, so good? So this was my first step. This was my second step. What am I going to need to do to go from here? I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And so my third step, what it says up there is that x is equal to 7. What's the reason? What did I do? Yes, I divided. So we're going to use the division property of equality. And to be honest with you, I usually just write division property. I don't write the whole of equality, okay? Because there is no other division property. Amir, you going to the bathroom? As soon as he gets back. After Jaden comes back. Does everybody understand that? Okay. So basically you're solving an equation and you're just justifying that by what properties you're using. So what I want you to do is take a look at number 2. Again, the very first step is my given statement, and the reason is because it's given. Always, always, always the first part. What I need you to do is think about solving that equation, and if it helps you to go to the side and solve it like I did here so that you can see what you're doing, you can do that. My next step says a divided by negative 6 is equal to 3. How did I go from a divided by negative 6 plus 2 equals 5 to a divided by negative 6 equals 3? What did I do? I subtracted my 2. So my reason is going to be the subtraction property. Now, look, if you're going to abbreviate subtraction, we have 2 properties that start with the same 3 letters. Subtraction and substitution. If you just put SUB, I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm going to count it wrong. You could put a minus sign if you wanted to. Okay, I just put a few extra letters so that I know the difference between subtraction and substitution. Does that make a little bit of sense? Okay. And then to go from a divided by negative 6 equals 3 to a equals negative 18, how did I undo a divided by negative 6? I multiplied, so that is going to be the multiplication property. Okay, so algebra proofs are not hard. You're just solving equations and justifying each step. What did I do to get there? Is everyone sort of okay with that? Alrighty then, try the third one then. Fill in your reasons for your proof. Remember, your given statement is always first. You want to ask yourself, what did I do to the first statement to get to the second statement? Give me a comment. Give me something that tells me that that one. everybody filling in the reasons for proof number 3. Fill in your reasons for proof number 3. What am I doing to the first statement to get to the second statement? Did I add on both sides? Did I subtract on both sides? Did I multiply on both sides? Did I divide on both sides? Did I distribute? What did I do to get from one to the next? To go from statement 1 to statement 2, what did I do to that -9? I distributed it, okay? So that is going to be the distributive property. And then to go from step 2 to 3, to go from -18x plus 27 equals 63 to -18x equals 36, what did I do? Subtracted, so that is going to be the subtraction property. And then to go from step 3 to 4, -18x equals 36 to x equals -2, what did I do? Divide, so that's going to be the division property. Anybody have any questions so far? Okay. Go ahead and do number 4. I'm going to be real curious to see who can figure out the reason for step number 5. How did I go from my given statement to step number 2? All right, think about this. Let's go over here. Yeah, 6x plus 7 equals 8x minus 17. If you'll notice in step 2, there is no more 6x. So how do you move that 6x to the other side? You subtract. So that's what they did there. They subtracted. So that is the subtraction property. And then to go from step 2 to step 3, to get rid of that 17, what did I do? I added, yep. And then to go from 24 equals 2x to 12 equals x, I divided. To go from 12 equals x to x equals 12, I basically just switched them around. What property says I can do that? symmetric. If you look back at your symmetric property, where'd it go? Right there, yeah. If A equals B, then B equals A, you just switch those around. That is the symmetric property of equality. You don't really have to put the of equality as long as you put the symmetric property. Does anybody have any questions on these algebraic proofs? Not terribly difficult, right? Okay. So what